challenging, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll go again to Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. On third down, here's Jones. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still, 4th down upcoming. They won on 2 fronts there, so to speak, Charles. Not only do they stop him short of the first, they get him out of bounds and stop the clock.
Yeah, they won. The offensive guys lost because they wanted to stay in bounds and have that clock run or force you to use timeouts. Instead, the defense won, as you mentioned, on both fronts.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, 2nd down. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Brissett now. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
They got the completion. Now, they probably had 2 plays called in the huddle, so they've got to get to the line of scrimmage, get set, and run their 4th down play.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's 4th. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now a desperation throw deep. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
He's back to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Dancing to his left. That is caught at the 7-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
They'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
I know we have individual minds, but I think we're thinking as 1 on this one, and 1 was the number, wasn't it?
Yeah, kick the extra point. Now you need a miracle. You need an onside kick quickly and to do something spectacular.
I mean, going for 2 there, either they felt like this is all we've got left, we've got to win it right now, or they've got some incredible miracle special teams play to get the ball back and give them one last chance.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Now they've kind of got a situation here. Still 3 timeouts defensively, so maybe you try to run a play.
And if you do it as safe as possible, and I think maybe even quarterback sneak. Take care of the football and make sure that clock starts to run before they call the timeout.
We'll see what they do. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, that's Jones. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. 1 to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
See if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Rolling to his left. He's going to let it fly. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Atlanta, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.